It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another discussion video that was suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community. So if you want to go ahead and be able to just talk with everybody in the community and also suggest videos to be discussed, you can go ahead and join with the link in the description. Just accept the rules with the knife emote at the bottom. But we're going to be talking about a video from EvilVora titled DVD is not killer friendly Dead by Daylight. And this is suggested by one of you guys in the community, of course. I really appreciate you guys suggesting these because this really adds a lot of interesting conversations to be had. So, of course, we've covered other EvilVora videos in the past. I'll probably be able to link those in the description or at least at the end screen. But I'm interested to really hear about this topic because there really is a lot to discuss with something like this.
But strictly for killer mains or survivors looking to dabble into some new killer mains, shall I say. If you're 100% survivor, this video simply isn't for you. You're not going to understand what I'm talking about, and you're going to be mad in my comment section. Not that I care. I'm just going to go ahead and warn you, this video is not for you. This is for the killers out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, like it is something that's very prevalent in the DVD community. There is a lot of the us versus them like discussions. And ironically enough, as much as people like to claim that they are trying to prevent that type of discussion, they still lean into a particular side, or they particularly are very deliberate in ignoring ignoring basic logic, evidence, whatever have you, just because they're so obsessed with their particular perspective. And yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that are willing to actually open their eyes and actually listen to other people's perspectives. And that is obviously why Warrior is gonna have to make that sort of disclaimer, like, if you only play Survivor, you're not gonna understand a single thing that's happening. And it's just how it goes, you know what I mean? It's just how it goes. And the only way that you're gonna find out is if you play it, right? So let's continue.
So, being a killer in 2026 is definitely not for the weak at all. It's definitely not beginner friendly either.
I agree with that 100% as well. I mean, that is another amazing point. It's not easy, it's not fun. I can't say it's the most enjoyable thing, especially when starting out, because you literally just don't know what the hell's happening and you're just getting steamrolled because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what you're doing. And it doesn't feel too nice. It doesn't feel good. Can't even imagine the new killer experience even currently, because golly, it's really bad now.
There's so many more things that you need to manage over Survivor. So being honest, I played both sides. I played in tournaments. I played both sides, trust me. This is a valid point. Survivor, it's super easy. That's why most people want to play Survivor. All you do is gens, and as soon as you hear a heartbeat, take off running. It's that simple. If you have sprint burst, you're going to buy at least 10 seconds before the killer even gets into chase with you. Then you're going to lead at least a 30-second chase. If you do the following: run to yellow, drop, run to yellow, drop, run to... You don't even really need to know how to loop these days.
It's really interesting that I've also made the same exact point before. I've said this so many times, and there are people that will somehow disagree with it, yet they can't disprove it. Like, it's really interesting, because even when I've played Survivor, even in 2v8s as of recently, as you guys have seen, it's really that easy. Like, I would just run around something a couple times, drop it, run somewhere else, do the same thing, vault, same thing, keep running. Like, it's not that difficult. And so I really don't understand how they could be having a hard time at this point, because it's like the game already gives you a lot of, like, even recently, a lot of great bonuses. Like, a lot of stuff got buffed up, a lot of base kit things got added. Like, you really have plenty to work with. Like, you should not be struggling at this point. And it's just a fact of the matter right there. I mean, what else can you say?
While your teammates are doing gens, it's easy. Now, being a killer, not so easy. Lots of different things you need to manage. Lots of different things. One of those things being in the topic of this video is anxiety, aka killer anxiety. Having anxiety during a match is very, very, very difficult to manage. Lots of people, even seasoned killer mains, suffer from killer anxiety. My number one advice and the number one thing I want you to get out of this video is if you're ever planning a killer match and you start feeling that gray cloud or that anxiety and you start feeling doubt, let it go. Let it go. Truly. It is not worth your mental health. It's not worth your stress. Let it go. If the game begins to slip, play for pressure. Try to swing the momentum on your side. Go for the tunnel out. No matter what anybody tells you, especially up.
I gotta say right off the bat, Vora's got incredible advice to start with. I mean, literally, that's something that I would say applies to a lot of people who are not within, you know, like trying to stream or create content or anything like that. The first thing you gotta do, obviously, if you decide to play this game in your free time, if you're feeling it coming, you gotta let it go. You know what I mean? Like, try to talk yourself out of it. Try to just like lock in or focus on what's like in front of you, obviously. Look at it or let it go and just be like, hey, you know, I'm just practicing, and relieve the pressure from yourself. Stop blaming yourself so heavily, because at the end of the day, it's like not everything in the game is going to be your fault. You know what I mean? As much as I will always say skill issue, and as much as I'll always say that people need to practice and get better, at the end of the day, there's still other RNG elements that are applying in this game too. Like, there's some maps are just really bad for your killer. Sometimes perks are just gonna outstrength you. Like, there's really just not a lot you can do about sprint burst on most killers. You know what I mean? Or dead hard. Like, that's a very strong perk against a lot of characters that have dashes like Chucky. Like, he just eats it while he's in cooldown for super long. So it's like there's not a lot you can do there. You know what I mean? Or there could just be blatant bugs for your character. Like, you can't control that, right? So a lot of things that come into play. You know what I mean? Or maybe you just didn't even have a build that works with your character. It's like, oh well, you know what I mean? Maybe you just have to adjust it.
Person playing against you, of course they're not going to want you to win, so they're going to tell you to not to do the thing that's going to help you get the win, which is swaying momentum.
That's also true too. It's a very good point. A very good point, because that is something that I've always discussed within the community, where it was like a bit of a form of gaslight, where they want you to play suboptimally. They want you to play in a way that only benefits them. And the thing is that for some reason it works, and for some reason it's like normalized that, you know, you have to baby your opponent, and it like, but only for killers. Like, for survivors, they can, you know, do everything in their power to win. They can bring the fullest meta. They can do every strategy known to man. They can use exploits. They can use whatever they want. But a killer just utilizing a single strategy, all of a sudden they're bad. It's like, how does that work? That makes no sense. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, I don't know how it became that way. But that is unfortunately how it works. You know, and maybe somehow we can try to like switch it around, where it's like, you know, it's like, play how you want to play, you know, especially if it's for strategy and you're not deliberately trying to you know, BM somebody just for no particular reason, or trying to be you know, harassing people outside of a game and things of that nature. You guys know what I'm talking about, which does happen very rarely. I mean, even according to behavior stats, like, I think being slugged was like a 2 or 1% of the time, I forget, like, but it was quite low, so it was kind of insane. But regardless, let's continue.
In other words, tunneling, slugging, and proxying. When there's down to 2 to 3 gens, you need to be working on getting that body out immediately. You shouldn't be, you know, if you're playing killer and you're worried about an in-game chat, you shouldn't be. Truly, your opposition is going to be in their feelings because you destroyed them. Win or lose, they're going to be in the end game talking bad and negative. That's just the way that people are. If you play fair, they're going to be telling you to get better, and they're going to be telling you you're terrible. They're going to be telling you you play weird, you still lost, and you're going to be getting teabagged. If you don't play fair, they're going to still be saying the same thing.
Vora's completely right. I mean, you guys even seen it. Like, I on streams, literally. That's how it goes. Like, anytime you ever win, never do you see a GG, never do you say a hey, great job. Nope, nothing. You don't get no good game. You don't get nothing. Wild silent. The second that they win, all of a sudden, They got mad stuff to say. It's like, what are we talking about, man? They got the GGs ready. They got the you're trash. They got the this. They got the that. They got everything to say. But the second that you win, silence. Like, it's crazy to me. Just insane. Absolutely insane. And Vora's right. I mean, we've even seen it recently, right? Literally on the last stream that we did, right? Or one of them. We had somebody waiting out the endgame chat. Well, not the endgame chat. Endgame collapse, my bad. They were waiting out the full endgame collapse to then write in the endgame chat, oh, wasting your time, leaves. I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, y'all, do you guys see what the hell I'm talking about? Like, this is ridiculous, bro. Like, are we so for real? Dog, like, come on now. Over a video game? Like, we're getting petty now? Like, it's just a game, bro. Move on to your next. Like, your queue time's quick. Or not, who knows? Like, just move on, dude. Like, go to your next game. Why are you so concerned about this one?
People in this world, I don't know why. It'll never make sense to me. It's cringy behavior. There are people in this world that genuinely want to put people down. There's kids that play this. You know, there's older people that play this. There's people who worked all day and they just want to get home and enjoy a match, you know, that play this. There's seasoned veteran killer mains like myself that play this. You know, you never know who you're playing against, man. You know, if you are a survivor and you are still in this video, I challenge you, you know, to try to understand another point of view. You might.
I've been saying that for quite a while too, and that's the example I was using just a second ago with the whole waiting out the endgame collapse as an example. It's like, what motivates people to be this toxic, right? Like, what motivates people to be this petty? Like, what motivates people to do these things? And you could say like, oh, but that example is terrible. That's not toxic at all. At the end of the day, he literally said wasting your time, right? As an example, right? Because it's one recent example that I can use to prove to add on to the point. But other people have their own anecdotal experiences that they can also bring up too, as an example. And what me and Vora are pretty much trying to convey here is like, what motivates people to want to do that? Like, what is motivating these people to want to give people a hard time, to give people a bad experience? And at least from every time I've ever seen this topic, like, I swear, like, I only ever see like one person say, oh, I had like one experience with the killer player, maybe two total. But then the survivor experience is crazy. Like, they'll have like 5, 10 different times, different examples. They'll be like, yo, this survivor said this to me, this one said that, this team did this team did that. It's like, yo, like, what the heck is going on? And I've mentioned it before. I remember in another video I had said it. It's never like, I was like, it can be both sides, but a lot of the time you'll see a lot of survivor teams do it. And I think maybe it's just because the amount of them, you know what I mean? You're getting 4 versus 1. So 4 people, there's just a higher chance. You know what I mean? There's a chance within 4, like there's just a better chance to find a toxic player in there than it is one at a time. Like, if you're going one after the other, pretty low. But if you're getting 4 each time, that's at least 25%. You know what I mean? Minimum, right? You know what I mean? So you get the idea. Like, it's pretty much just like insane, right? And that is a bit of a problem, and that's a symptom of the community overall, right? It just is. It's unfortunate.
Might be playing against somebody's kid, you know, just trying to have some fun, man. You might be playing against somebody's grandparent. You simply never know. Please, man, stop with the teabag and cut it out, dude. Seriously, you're not as good as you think you are. When you do that to a seasoned killer main like myself, I'll make you pay the price for it. So please, lose the ego.
I completely agree with Vora here. I completely agree. You know what I mean? Like, I think that trying to create a culture in this community where it's more focused on just playing the game, having fun, or if you're competitive, like you're a competitive type of player, you know, not like comp, but like a competitive spirit, like, you know, that kind of thing, where you like to, like, you know, have a good challenge, be like Goku or some shit, like you want to face strong opponents, then, you know, let that be a part of it too. Like, you know, you both can do your best and see who comes out on top. And like, that's you know, way better than just being all salty, mad, and toxic to people that, like, you know, it could literally, like EvilVora said, it could literally be somebody's kid, somebody's grandma, like, that you're just, like, you know, talking shit to. It's like, damn, bro. Like, is it really that necessary? Like, I really don't see why. It's just a game, bro. Like, calm down. It's not that serious. It really isn't.
That wasn't the point of the video, but that's just a side note because it frustrates me. People coming into my streams, how are you so calm? How are you so calm? You know, this happened to me, teabag this, teabag that. Learn, I mean, be a decent human, man. You're not as good as you think you are. Lose the ego. Seriously.
They're 100% right about that. They usually 9 times out of 10 are not as good as they think they are. Literally, because of the mere fact that, you know, I've played, according to DBD stats, in my total hours, 400 were on Survivor. And I have to say that even now, I probably loop I can still loop better than most of the players I'm facing. And the fact of the matter is like a lot of the looping strength really comes from the map design itself. Because if they were actually good at looping, they would be able to loop pretty much on almost any area and be able to at least hold their own for more than 10 seconds. But when I look at the map structure and the perks they bring, I go, okay, they had windows and they're on shack or something. So I'm like, okay, well, you just chain to yellow, then go to shack. Like, that's, to me, I don't think that really requires much brain power. Like, you're literally just holding forward to the next thing, not thinking much about what you're doing. And I have to agree, they're not as good as they think they are. They really aren't, because they go down very quickly when they don't have shack to work with. They don't have a broken setup. Like when they're just in a 50-50 location or in a regular tile that can be mind gamed, all of a sudden they don't know what to do. So
when you run into a season killer main, you fall in 20 seconds. That's not the point though. Back to, you know, speaking to my killers. Learn how to manage that anxiety. Learn how to manage that stress. The best way to do so is collecting a body, tunnel a body, find the weak link, take them out of the game immediately. That cuts 100% efficiency down to 75% efficiency. Try it. Listen, for me, try your best to not get in your head. That's the most important lesson. Because win or lose, I don't want, you know, this is a video game. You don't need to be overly stressing. Win or lose, get out there. And like I said in many videos, please challenge yourself to have some fun.
I have to completely agree. I've actually wanted to touch on that today because I think that as much as I've like experienced killing anxiety before, you know, usually it'll fade pretty quickly because at the end of the day, like I've kind of gone in with the mentality that it's going to be a bad time anyway, so there's not really much for me to you know, be surprised or anxious about, because at the end of the day, like the game's bad. So like, what is there to, you know, be excited about or to really be stressed about? I'm like, I already knew it was gonna be ass. But if you are going in and you are still experiencing that, I would have to say you have to let it go, dude. Like, let go of the outcome. Focus. You have to shift your focus. You have to shift your focus onto something else. Like, it's not about trying to win every time. It's just not going to always work that way. Especially if you're new, especially if you are learning, especially if you are not a main of your character. You know what I mean? You need to let go of that outcome. You need to focus more on what is it that you're trying to get out of this, right? And at the end of the day, if you get a little bit upset, let it go, man. A match can be terrible, but hey, the match is over. On to the next one. It does not matter. Because at the end of the day, like, a lot of people like be holding on to these losses all day long, and then they get all mad, and then they become the quitters that we see in these matches, right? We see the constant disconnecting. That's what they become. Heavy burnouts, like, you know, crashing out, like, you know, heavy crash outs, burnout, whatever have you, quitting like crazy. The second they take 1M1, they're done. They hear a terror radius, they disconnect. Stuff like that. Like, they become one of those people. You're not trying to be one of those people. You know what I mean? If you still enjoy the game, still find ways to enjoy the game. Don't let yourself become one of those people. Or like I always was saying, play something else. Like, you can do that too. You know what I mean? But if you decide that you're like, I don't want to play other games, then obviously then you're gonna have to like buckle down and do what Vora's saying, do what I'm saying to do. Like, there's different ways to approach it. Because I'm saying it's all mental, and is my perspective. Like, you have to sit there and stop thinking about it so freaking much. Just focus on your goals, man. And then if it doesn't work out, who cares? Just on to your next game. Be like, hey, we'll see whatever. See what happens next. I've been trying to apply that, I think, recently on streams as well. Like, I've been just like playing Ghostface just to play him. I'm like, whatever. I'll just play whatever character I feel like playing, because I'm like, like, it doesn't really matter. Because I'm not getting anything. Like, I'm just like, I'm not like earning anything or unlocking anything. I'm just playing the match. So I'm like, what does it matter? Like, you know what I mean? Unless I'm like practicing, then of course, then my thought is, okay, how do I do this thing? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it becomes a party game if you make it. You know what I mean? And for killers, at least, you have your own little party for yourself. Be like, all right, I want to try to land this cool clip, and I'm gonna keep shooting for the clip and see what happens. Like I did the same thing when I was learning Billy. I was just trying to go for like curves wherever I could. I was like, let me just curve. Because it's just fun to go for them. I'm like, hey, why not? Like, you know, because the feeling of landing it is so cool. So I'm like, why not just go for it again? Like, why not? You know what I mean? Just see if I can land it this time. See if I can get better. I can be better than the last time. And that's just like where I'm coming from with that. But I want to go ahead and link videos linked in the description if you want to watch the rest of this video. You know, check out EvilVora's videos, man. I think they're very positive and they're going to be very helpful for you, you know, with killer anxiety, with stress and stuff like that within the game. And hopefully to be able to shift your perspective. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to support, you can become a member on YouTube or Patreon, or even subbing on Twitch. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off our members from Patreon. Pro King 101, YouTube members: Cargan Falcon, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Cozy Bozy, Theo Endire, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. And for the Twitch, we have Final Girl Bunny, Leona Art, Zazabu, Evil Blade, Danica, Crow Vader, Cake is a Road, Zeneron, Ginsburg, Mr. Morik, Kevin, Zero Mocker, Ashai Boo, and Gryffindor. Appreciate you guys supporting. Really means a lot. If you want to become a member, you can go ahead and join through Patreon or YouTube members, or even sub on Twitch. See you guys in the next one.